Greetings, Synopsis! Oh, I did not order a copy of Raiders of the Lost Shark!
Angle that camera down. We all know who they're really here to see.
How about no? Besides, this isn't a patron request.
No. Well, you never know anyway. You never double check.
Would it make that much of a difference either way?
No, not really. Besides, I just came here to piss you off. Boop. Seems to have worked, so bye.
Greetings, of yours!
The Hit Girl, not to be mistaken for Her, is a film from 2013. It's about a hitman who, through hijinks, is turned into a 14-year-old girl and has to complete the mission. It was written and directed by James A. Ward, who earlier made Identity Theft, a film where a man, after one night stand, has his mind swapped to the woman because she was the identity thief, who travels the world swapping bodies with people and stealing their lives.
James, did you know you can just be a woman?
He hasn't made a feature since The Hit Girl, but has made dozens of short films, all of which appear to be about body swaps and sex transformations. So I'd like to reiterate,
you can just be a woman. I mean, it's not that hard. I'm doing it right now. Bloody whore! See?
I realise this sounds like I'm shitting on James, but I am really not. He has a niche and he has talent, and this film is far better than you probably expect. Even Identity Theft, which I didn't care for, is far from bad. So, why am I reviewing this? Well, apart from the concept, a hard-bitten hitman turns into a 14-year-old girl and needs to finish the job, is fucking amazing. But beyond that, it makes some brave narrative choices, the dialogue is often sparkling, and the lead performances are great. In short, it's a good film and I think you should all watch it.
But I'm still gonna make fun of it, because that's what I do.
First up, the ident. Now obviously the words are about 3 degrees off center, but the important thing is the nifty little animation beforehand seems to basically be the same as Genesis 7's nifty little animation in ident. And the companies aren't related, this is just funny. After the traditional sparkle credits, we open with a little light Satanism as a trait, and a preview of the Gamers 12. As you can see, D&D got a little more intense when the DM started speaking Doth Klingon.
I, Lord Imnon, summon the forces of the underworld. What do you do?
I run in and hit him with my sword.
RPG! 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 Lord Imnon raises his hand and fires a lightning bolt at you for 87 points of damage.
What? Well, come on, you guys. You can't kill me after the first 5 minutes of a game.
It's not like I'm called Elfstar or Freelick. Are you the Dark Urge? Honestly, this whole scene is almost charming.
Well, this game sucks.
All right, out of character. You were supposed to be on a scouting mission. What did you think would happen if you attacked the main villain?
Which is why it's a pity when they all get murdered.
You can't kill me after the first 5 minutes of a game.
Yeah, sorry, but they can, and more importantly, so can this guy.
Arg! Pizza pirates.
Oh, shit!
I'd like to imagine this scene sprang fully formed like Athena from Spoonie's Head circa 2009. And you know, the sooner we get a whole movie about the RPG playing Mafia, the sooner the world's gonna be at least 2d4% better.
This dungeon is closed for renovations. Damn it! No, wait, I can do better. I can do better.
He leaves the DM alive. If this film didn't have the plot that it does, that might have been a massive problem later on. I don't know why he's left him alive. He saw the guy's face. Honestly, I think it's so we can help him think of a better line for next time.
The roll... Count to 1,000, I'll shoot you in the face. You've got a 2d4 plus 3 chance of being dead.
You know, if he put the bodies into the trunk, then this place would be at least 2 different kinds of chop shop. Anyway, he was there to grab a laptop that this mob type wants and kill anyone between it and himself. Fairly usual for most films that don't include a transformation into a 14-year-old girl.
You can't imagine irreparable damage he could have caused with this.
Such as?
Damage. Damage that's impossible to repair. Because that's what irreparable means.
Just one big game for you, isn't it? Like you don't have anything to lose.
Only my dick, sir. What I love about the Hitman is how much of an unmitigated dork he is.
So, did you say any of those catchphrases?
I don't do that anymore.
He's like a Martin Scorsese character written for Michael Cera. Anyway, he's given a new assignment, one that'll take him into his sister's neck of the woods. And he has a lot in common with his sister. As you can see, she appears to be Eileen Warnos. He's gonna fit some murder in around a family visit.
Yeah, hey, can we make it 7? I got a few things I need to do first.
Great. Susie will be thrilled to see you. And Bill, thanks so much for Susie's Christmas presents. It really meant a lot to her.
Oh. But before that, we get Pushkin's strip club visit.
It's like Chekhov's strip club visit, but ironic.
Also, it's probably not in space.
You bring your homework?
As a matter of fact, I kind of did, but you've got my full attention.
This conversation is thrilling and all, but honestly, I'm more interested in the stripper equivalent of drunken uncle wedding dancing going on in the background. Okay, so the finale's set up.
You know what? I'm gonna have to take a rain check on that dance.
He then heads to a friendly neighborhood arms dealer. That's a joke, but since this is Nevada, there's a chance that might actually be the shop's name.
What do you need?
Something big, like a stoner. M4 and a high-capacity 12-gauge.
Hold on, let me get the others.
Oh, and I'll need 500 rounds of 5.56 and 2 boxes of double-aught buck.
The phased plasma rifle in the 40-watt range. Hey, I just noticed the owner's name in the back, and I've concluded that he started carrying all these weapons because people wouldn't stop taking the piss out of him. Okay, having bought enough weaponry to decapitate his target with bullets, he heads for that visit. Here's his niece Susie watching that old staple, the copyright-free movie channel.
Susie, can you get the door? Don't worry about getting up. I'll get it.
It was either going to be that or identity theft, James Award's last movie, which would raise all sorts of questions because the guy gets turned into a woman in that is Susie's song and dance teacher who we see later on. Anyway, Susie is a wonderful mix of mostly believable nerd dialogue and a charmingly peppy performance.
How's it going, shorty?
Fine, you scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Susie is played by the fantastically named Jessamine Arnstein, and I'm sad to say doesn't seem to have acted in anything since. Damn shame. She deserves to walk into a supporting role in something like Wednesday or American Horror Stories.
Hey, what are you watching?
Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero classic from 1968.
So you like the movies they say?
Yes.
Anyway, enough sadness. It's time for a nerd argument that you never even knew existed until now.
You still living in that fantasy world where the last starfighter is better than Kroll?
Team Crow! Team Crow! Team Crow!
And Robert Preston gave one hell of a performance.
Gross.
Gross?
Yeah.
I am seriously considering radically pivoting my channel over to a Susie and Assassin Dude Talk Pulp Culture React channel.
George Lucas is nothing but a whore.
Susie?
Sorry, Mom, but it's true.
Kid's right. Total whore.
So because of work-based issues, Susie's mum is suddenly called away overnight. So he's gonna have to stay over and limit his murders to mid-70s cult sci-fi movies.
Maybe I can finally convince her that Damnation Alley is a lot better than A Boy and His Dog.
Neither of them are as good as Colossus the Forbin Project.
I'm sorry, but it's just so nice to have nerdy characters in a film that aren't discussing the lowest common denominator geek stuff. If they actually mention Phase 4, the best super intelligent insect movie ever made, I may have to amend the laws of Afghanistan so I can marry this film. Anyway, the main plot's clearly not going to start itself, so they start to compare their lives. She gets bullied mercilessly at school, and possibly better, possibly worse, he has to listen to her complaining about it.
And this group of girls picks on me all the time.
Right, yeah. So, where's your mom keep the booze?
In between killing guys in exchange for mountains of cash.
Deposit to your usual offshore account will be there first thing in the morning.
The upshot is that he's very unimpressed with the trials of being a teenage girl.
You don't even know the pressures a teenage girl has to deal with.
I wish I had the problems of a teenage girl.
The bargain has been made.
Wish I had the problems of a teenage girl.
No, you don't.
Susie is such a movie nerd that she has the actual magic statue from the sex change comedy the same name. Nah, the magic statue belongs to the gallery Susie's mum works at. It's being stored here because going across town would make the scene a bit too complicated. So having been zapped with the statue's magic, he's suddenly exhausted. Because unlike New Who, this thing understands that regenerations are meant to happen lying down. Anyway, Susie won't stop talking about her trouble at school, and I fucking love that his desperate attempt to get her to leave before he collapses is this.
Okay, look, I tell you what you do. If this ever happens again, you go up to the biggest one in the group, right? Stab her in the belly.
It's well known that as the brain becomes deprived of sleep, one of the first things affected is the understanding of the concept of plausible deniability.
This is high school.
Oh yeah, good point. A gun would probably be less conspicuous. Anyway, one exterior shot later, and he's eventually going to be called Jessica.
Plot twist! Her cock's much bigger now.
Susie. Susie, wake up.
Yes, rouse her gently. You don't want to disturb her.
I got a bit of a problem here. What? Who are you and what are you doing in my room?
Well, that's the face of someone who knows that things are about to get really good, really bad, or really interesting.
It's me, it's Uncle Bill.
Mom? Uncle Bill?
Oh, this is gonna take a while.
I'm really not sure why the movie skips it. It doesn't take that long to say, well, I woke up and suddenly it was as though I did a lot of expensive surgeries. Very expensive surgeries, seeing as I'm now 2 foot shorter and slightly less white than I was before.
So you're my uncle?
Yes.
And you went to bed last night normal and you woke up like this?
Yes.
Cool.
What? No, this is not cool. This is the total opposite of cool.
Someone be a dear and remind me to get a minion, chrome plate them, put them into a ridiculous position, and then let them dry and make wishes on them.
What kind of wishes, mistress?
Well, I've already got everything I want, so, that my wishes get ignored, I guess. Then I have an excuse to do something even worse to them.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is just like Freaky Friday.
No, this is not just like Freaky Friday. This is real.
Also, it's not like Freaky Friday because he didn't swap with someone else.
No, you're right. This is more like the hot chick.
No, it's not like the hot chick for the same reason I just explained.
Oh god, I hope some teenage girl isn't waking up as me right now. That would just be awkward.
Could be worse. She could be waking up as Rob Schneider.
God, what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna get back to normal?
Well, if this is anything like the movie...
This isn't a freaking movie!
Nah, if it wasn't a movie, you wouldn't have said frickin' there.
Naturally, the film eventually stops referencing more popular and often worse films, and settles on more practical matters. Like what the hell to do about this?
Oh, that's a good point. We need to find you something to wear.
What do you mean something to wear?
Obviously, they can't tell Susie's mum.
Unless, of course, you want to tell her.
No, I do not want to tell her.
Because if she knew the possibility for hijinks, we'd just like Uncle Jezebel. Reduced by 50%.
But then you're going to have to change.
Into what?
Another girl. One that's dressed. Luckily, Susie's a pile of her old clothes that Uncle Shorty should just about be able to fit into.
You're the shorty now. Now just give me a few minutes to get dressed and I'll come back with the clothes.
Okay, now I'm wondering where Susie keeps her clothes. Random question for the audience, but is that technically a sex crime?
Oh hell no, I'm not wearing any of this.
Susie's mum made it home, so we have the obligatory, this is totally a friend from school bat.
Hi, I'm...
This is, Jessica from school.
Hi, Jessica.
It's a bit of a waste, they could have fit about 28 movie references in this scene.
Jessica? Hello, Logan's Run. Of course.
Okay, I regret saying that now. Logan's Run? That reference doesn't even make sense!
Fish, and plankton, and sea greens, and protein from the sea. It's all here, ready, fresh as harvest day. I'm ready, and you're ready. It's my job.
You know, it's possible I just misunderstood the film. I try to be really high when I watch Logan's Run.
I love this little exchange as Susie's mum is convinced that Jezebel's a lesbian.
So you like dancing and musical theater then?
I love dancers. I actually watched some dancers last night.
And he just keeps confirming it.
I'm glad Susie has some nice cultured friends.
Anyway, Susie has an audition for a play, so naturally Jessica's going to be dragged along. Now, important question, was that pun deliberate?
That's a plausible explanation, and I'm gonna say yes to that.
Susie, I'm beat. I'm gonna go home and take a nap.
I hope for her sake she wished for less all-nighters. I'm pretty sure it's at least partly an accident, but I love the lighting in this shot. It's like Billica's a literal black hole.
What am I doing here? I should be back at your house trying to figure out how to get me back to normal.
You couldn't have stayed there looking like you do now.
The acting in this kind of reminds me of See Me Dance, but it's actually charming here. It fits the tone and it's done well.
Unless you changed your mind about wanting to tell my mom what happened.
Oh God, no.
Take Susie and Jessica, for instance. Susie's basically a talented and non-annoying version of Sherry.
This is my friend Jessica. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey there.
Well, Jessica is Sherry once she read the reviews.
What the hell is that? Whiskey. You want some?
Hello everyone, my name's Michael Ryan.
Hello, James A. Ward's cameo.
I'm going to be directing this production.
That's the spirit. The auditions are a fairly prosaic affair that begins with this. I can only hope she's auditioning for a musical comedy version of Stuttered Vomit Dolls. Much of the other singing would fit in pretty well. Of course, Susie's pretty good. So good, she's having some kind of an effect on this blonde.
Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square.
I'm not sure if she wants to kill and or fuck her, or in which order.
Both would help her with her Stuttered Vomit Dolls audition, though.
Now, we're all aware of 2 of the 3 classic blunders, getting involved in a land war in Asia, and going against a Sicilian when death is on the line, but some criminals at the back are making the 3rd and blunderiest, loudly having a meeting about their crimes in a room full of people who gossip for a living.
So you're telling me you sold our drugs, and now you don't have the money to pay us? And what the fuck are we doing here?
Criminaling very badly.
They're actually running their own audition. You see, this cunt owes this other cunt's boss a lot of money and plans to kidnap some of the girls here for the boss's teen girl sex trafficking ring.
These are all nice girls. Clean girls. Young girls.
Boy, that got dark. You know, some directors wouldn't dare to put sex slavery into their broad comedy. Those directors are cowards. I mean, as a plot for The Love Boat, it basically writes itself.
I want the pretty one right there. Okay?
I'll take it.
Anyway, the audition's about to finish when peer pressure rears its blonde and brunette heads.
Come on, Jessica, just go up and audition. It'll be fun. Yeah, Jessica, it should be fun. Unless you're chicken.
Alright.
She's blown right past Dutch courage and started on the Ukrainian courage.
I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Yes, movie. I too enjoy a stirring rendition of irony or metaphor.
I am so pissed off with being turned on right now. Well, I think this means everyone's going to be smoking and drinking before the next set of auditions, which can only improve them.
Wow, that was great. You're really good. Yeah, that was impressive.
Anyway, Jessica's hammered.
I think I'm a little hammered.
Hammered enough to assume that she's still capable of beating up all 3 of Susie's bullies.
Come on, let's go.
Wait. Are these the little girls you were telling me about? Oh, crap.
It's funny because it's violent.
Having been hammered, while hammered, Jessica now has brain damage. At least that's my guess as to why she reveals her actual job to Susie.
I am a 44-year-old clandestine operative who just got his ass kicked by a bunch of schoolgirls.
To be fair, the only possible way this could maybe not be embarrassing is if the trio were Japanese. And even then it's borderline.
I capture people that need capturing, and I kill people that need killing. How am I gonna do that with this girly body?
It's a bit of a moot point now, but I kind of want to know how you did all that with your old sitcom dad body. The opening wasn't that convincing.
I am a soldier. And a bad man. And I'm crying. I didn't cry when I got shot in South America. I didn't cry when I got tortured in Mogadishu.
But based on your movie talks earlier, I'm guessing you did cry when the Star Wars Special Audition was released.
Kid's right. Total whore.
Anyway, Susie tries to make Jessica see that her whole life's gone and they're now technically a probable trans man, but it's not all bad.
It's not that bad being a girl.
What's so great about it?
Ask the director, maybe?
Well, you're really pretty.
That isn't helpful.
I know I just keep talking over this scene and playing random lines, but that's just my way of dealing with the fact that I can't just play the whole thing. It's fucking great.
So you kill people for a living?
Sometimes.
Really?
Yep.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
War. It's fantastic.
I used to think so too.
Anyway, Susie works out an advantage to her being a teenage girl.
No one will ever suspect you of being a killer.
Yeah, but as you just saw, I just got schooled by a bunch of schoolgirls.
I think you'll find that unless you're me, a gun is a great leveler.
Anyway, Jezebel sees Susie's point about the tactical advantages of being a teen girl. Being seen as less of a threat, being lighter on her feet, a harder target to hit. And, most importantly, the possibility for being meta via cosplay.
I guess you have a point.
I'm glad, but it doesn't explain why she seems convinced that she can just step in and continue Bill's career. At least, not without a serious hiatus and a very long doctor's note.
But I really don't want to be a girl for the rest of my life.
Luckily, aging is a thing.
I know.
Hi, girls. I got here as soon as I could.
They spin a yarn of bullshit to Susie's mum so Billica can stay a few days. You know, give them all some breathing space to come up with some more bullshit to keep from explaining the situation to the mom. Hard to believe, but Jess just remembered something about their job that he didn't tell Susie in the last scene. And seeing as they've decided to shoot the concept of secrets in the head...
Wow.
It'd be impolite not to mention it.
I'm actually on a job at the moment. My plan was I was going to have dinner with you and your mom, and then later on last night I was going to take care of my business. But I got distracted.
As Bitch Slap demonstrated so eloquently, breasts will do that.
And yes, the people I've killed have all deserved it. The world is a much better place without them.
Fucking RPG players, kill them all and let balls sort them out. I'm only half joking about this, but are we sure that opening scene wasn't a hate crime against nerds? Anyway, on to an almost subtle wank joke.
Besides, you're gonna need time to acclimate to your new body.
Yeah, I might at that.
Smooth. That's a quadruple entendre at least.
The next few days are a fun, though typical little montage, mostly of Jessica exercising, but we also see her discovering that when using a gun, she's somehow the more dangerous projectile. Susie turns to the Bible for guidance, uninterested in putting Jezebel to death as an abomination. She instead turns to LiveJournal, which is similarly useless but includes a bit more slash fiction. Which brings us to Jess's very belated introduction to the concept of karma.
Right.
Do you want some cocoa?
No, fuck you and your cocoa. I want my cocoa!
The L85 is way too heavy. I can't even control the M4. The shotgun knocks me on my ass. And I can't even handle the 45.
Kinda wanna know how the hell they're able to fire all those guns in the back garden without somebody noticing. But then I remember that it's America. The chances are the sound was cancelled out by everyone else firing their guns.
Well, I did come across this one thing that if you pee into a magic fountain...
This is from another movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Susie's apparently read a book on Greek mythology and has come out swinging a giant dick labelled vaguely related to the present situation.
But the best lead I found so far deals with the myth of a man Tiresias. He was turned into a woman after he displeased the goddess Hera. I'm still trying to figure out how this could relate to your situation.
Not entirely sure why you bring that up before working that out, but okay.
If you're not familiar with the story of Tiresias, he saw some snakes fucking and hit them with a stick, so Hera turned him into a woman, and he became her high priestess. Which is just rubbing it in. She then married, did a lot of fucking, had children, and eventually got turned back into a man when she found some more snakes fucking and stamped on them.
Man, the lessons learned? 0.
Tiresias was basically the Nick Fury of the ancient Greek myths, turning up everywhere. He settled an argument between Zeus and Hera over who enjoyed sex more, man or woman. He was struck blind for giving an answer Hera didn't approve of, and Zeus gave him the gift of prophecy as an apology for his crazy-ass wife. He was the guy who told Oedipus that he'd kill his dad and marry his mom. Naturally, Oedipus chucked him out of his palace, and tried so hard to avoid doing that he ended up killing his dad and marrying his mum.
Of course!
He had so many cameos that, like Stan Lee, even managed one after his death, being visited by Odysseus when he entered the underworld during the Odyssey. Why am I explaining all this? Because magic transformations are not uncommon in myth. I'd really leave the Tiresias comparisons until you have some proof that Bill beat the shit out of some snakes.
Also, because I like explaining shit.
Anyway, Tiresias in all spent 7 years as a woman.
7 years?
During that time, he became a prostitute of great renown.
A prostitute?
And she had a baby.
A baby.
Could have been worse. Could have done all that at the same time.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure she was only turned back because Hera got a stitch from laughing so much.
Yeah, but this could have nothing to do with what happened to you.
Then I direct you to my earlier question asking why you'd bring it up. Anyway, since Billica can't pack what he really wants to at the moment, so we'll just have to settle for heat. They hit the local friendly neighborhood arms dealer to buy some smaller guns. Guns that won't make Jezebel fly across the room and kill the wrong person. And why? Because that target's still walking around and won't assassinate himself. Unless Jess's luck really changes.
I never would have thought there was an illegal gun dealer in here. Shh.
I'm pretty sure that illegal gun shops located in strip malls that operate during the day who will hand out weapons to anyone that claims they know someone called Sammy C.
I'm a friend of Samuel C's.
Really?
And are fine with doing their very illegal business in the presence of teenagers, shouldn't have large clear glass windows that open onto the car park. I mean, it's not surprising that they do, but they're just making extra trouble for themselves.
I don't deal with teeny boppers. Until now.
I'm looking for an MP5, SD, silenced Mac 11, and 9mm pistol. And a phased plasma rifle in a 40-watt range.
Oh, now that's just awkward. It's like going to a fancy wedding and finding out that you and your rival both made the same obvious Terminator joke.
What does this thing do?
Now this is something I can use.
Obvious joke is too obvious even for me.
Ooh, you should get one of these.
Now this is the sort of wholesome uncle-niece bonding that great memories are made of.
How much for the guns and 300 rounds of subsonic 9mm?
Well, normally it'd be $7,000, but I'll knock $500 off the top if you girls want to come back here in decent modeling.
Okay, that less so.
Gun dealers are sleazy.
Anyway, having realised that it's been almost an hour of a guy gets turned into a teen girl movie, and there's been no sleepover, the plot hastily throws one together in an effort to save face.
What the hell are they doing here?
I completely forgot about the sleepover.
Badly painted face.
Trust me, I'm an expert.
There you guys are. We were wondering where you were.
Eventually, we all just broke in. Well, at least some people are having fun talking to Jill Barrap. I trust there'll be some drama later on when she realises what fucking film she's in and has a breakdown.
So, how far have you gone with a boy?
Hey Jessica, how's your sex life?
And I need something from the kitchen.
Really? What?
Really? We only just got over watching The Room. Besides, it's probably the third or fourth base, depending how kinky and limber Bill was while showering. So Susie and her mum go to the shops, leaving Jess to the gentle ministrations of a tree of girls that she just insulted.
So, what are you future hookers doing?
We're just giving Janet a makeover.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jessica.
Those eyes. The 1,000-yard glitter stare. She's seen some shit, man.
They made me wear a thong.
Not gonna lie, I'm kinda curious about whose. Anyway, once the party concludes...
See you later, guys!
And Billica has a moment of very literal self-reflection. It's time to get down to business. Jezebel has received a notice that his target is a sex trafficker, specializing in teen girls.
I just got word that my not-so-important target might be kidnapping and trafficking young girls.
Wait, I know this guy. He was at the auditions.
I wondered why I was loudly talking about sex trafficking the whole time. Kinda threw me off my A-game, to be honest. Anyway, time for the second audition. Since no one's following Jessica's example and getting drunk, I assume they all got that out the way early. Almost as important as the underage drinking is the bullies itching for round 2. They've definitely upped the ante by bringing in one of the town's littlest lesbians, and West Side's story like finger snaps. But it's nothing compared to Billica's secret weapon.
Apart from that training montage.
Girls better walk away right now, or I'm gonna go through you faster than a nun's first curry. What?
An off-screen action scene. Outside the audition, these sketchy-looking motherfuckers have disguised themselves as some dudes who clearly want to kidnap some teenagers and sell them into sex slavery.
I don't like this. Way too sketchy. There's too many people around.
Because no one who actually wanted to do that would be dumb enough to sit en masse looking sketchy in a car and staring at the place where the teen girls are hanging out. The disguise works and everyone just ignores them.
See the face on that girl?
Those must be some tough auditions. Look, there's one that isn't busted up.
That's KC, Susie's blonde friend.
She'll do.
What was with that nun's first curry thing? Are you saying you're the diarrhea in this situation?
No, I'm the curry!
Why don't you just say something like, it's opening night, ladies, and somebody's going to break a leg?
That's not bad.
Isn't this KC's backpack?
Yeah.
If they ever want to see Casey again, then Jezebel's gonna have to kill the target Sunshine Band. But before that, we can see how cool Susie is with her uncle / new best friend / potential girlfriend if they ever make a sequel and it goes in a very different direction.
What? They're not genetically related anymore. Probably.
Anyway, we can see how cool Susie is with her Uncle Jess killing people. She ordered him a Matrix-inspired murder outfit for missions.
Well, I've ordered a couple of things, and this should be your outfit for your new ass-kicking persona. You want to try it on?
Gonna have to wait, though, because the target, the dude who kidnapped Casey, operates out of a strip club, and that means Pushkin's strip club visit.
There are alternatives to fighting, she says. But you're not gonna like it, she says. I was told I could come in for an audition at this time.
You over 18?
Turned 45 in May.
Now that I'm a woman,
Try singing Amazing Grace. It'll blow their minds.
Or do that. I just realized this is literally a level in Saints Row. Pretty sure the next bit might be too, you see. She's taken into the back office for another, more personal and penis-involving audition. It goes well.
What's your name?
My name is...
Your name is what? Your name is who? Your name is Smacky Smacky Slam Shady? I wonder how you spell. Does it have one F or 3? When he comes to, he claims not to know anything about Casey's kidnapping.
I don't know about any kidnapping.
Of course, that's before the office cattle prod gets involved.
If you think this is the first time that I've been tied to this chair and zapped with that cattle prod by a Catholic schoolgirl.
Okay, I don't often say this with sex traffickers, but I kind of want that guy to live.
He was found in his hotel room, impaled upon a large electrical device. Our surgeons did what they could, but it took them 2 hours just to get the smile off his face.
Anyway, in a shocking twist, it turns out that the guy reacts less well to a literal nut cracking.
Okay. Now I'm really going to hurt you.
And in an even shockinger twist, they've also grabbed Susie.
Shit!
Time for a roaring rampage of revenge.
Hey, sweetheart, you gonna finish that dance?
Yeah, start the music.
Go on, Jessica. Hit them, baby, one more time.
It's the only Britney Spears joke you're getting, so I'm glad Susie ordered that murder set. Susie and KC are going to be shipped out shortly, so time's of the essence. That's what makes wasting it by going home and changing all the more satisfying.
Hey guys!
So, what's Susie been doing while this violence is happening? Nothing too bad. Her and the boss are killing time with a nerdy movie off.
Is that a Phantom of the Paradise tattoo?
Why, yes it is.
That is so cool.
It's no the apple.
You think that's cool? Check this out. Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi, 1986.
Wow.
It's good to have shared interests. Makes the Stockholm Syndrome a bit easier.
This has been Jim Dandy. I gotta get you ready for transport.
Oh, wait. Why can't we talk about Buckaroo Banzai?
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Not yet, anyway. Oh hey, Pendulette's in this.
You wouldn't hit a girl, would you?
This is a bad action scene.
Break me off a switch, son. You're about to get a whooping.
Oh yes, leave the weapon. You don't want anything slowing you down when you face the bad guy. As Jezebel's still not arrived, Susie changes her delaying tactic to the oldest trick in the book. The old, check out this magic statue I brought and see what it can do trick.
Now, see how the scales are unbalanced? All you have to do is push down on the higher one.
Wait a minute. This is gonna shock me or something, is it?
It will be rather shocking. Yes.
Anyway, why does she have a statue with her? Simple, while Billica was out clubbing, Susie had a conversation with an expert in ancient Greek myth, and got an idea for the statue works. And she was bringing it to Bill when she got nabbed.
I may have a way to change you back to normal. I'm heading out now. I'll meet you at the...
This plays into the Tiresias stuff from earlier, because it turns out that a radical new interpretation of the myth indicated that it wasn't Hera, but Themis, the goddess of justice, who turned them into a woman.
Who's Themis?
And apparently it wasn't based on beating snakes, but touching a magic statue of Themis and hoping that she's feeling like a troll.
With that many changes, I'm still baffled about why they named up Tiresias at all.
This was all explained by an English mythology expert who Susie phones up in the middle of the night, while Billica's on the mission.
Hi, this is Susie Banyan from America. I just got your email and I had a few questions.
It's really rather early, Miss Banyan.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the time difference.
The expert, who isn't being paid, doesn't yell and slam the phone down, but gets her research out and calmly spends a few hours of her sleeping time explaining everything to Susie.
Yeah, but you do realise that this is only a myth.
Of course, if the mistress was not aware that experts do love to explain stuff, she would of course say that this is the most unrealistic part of the film.
This is the sort of stuff that most films would do to take the piss out of English politeness and American self-obsession. But this is pure laziness, it just takes you to the film.
I realise that being what takes you to the film is a bit weird, considering the rest of it, but trust me on this.
She could easily have been an Ivy League professor in the USA. I mean, look at UK politics. It doesn't have a monopoly in smart people. Hell, it could probably barely scrape together a monotony of smart people right now. Anyway, long story, shorter than before, but still long because I'm telling it. Jess kills this dickweed. Susie manipulates the bad guy into being the statue's next victim.
Where's Caitlin?
She's right there.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And in a hilarious turn of events,
I'm actually not being sarcastic, this is fucking hilarious.
They leave the bad guy, the guy who came up with a plan to sex traffic teenage girls, to his new career as his own sex trafficking victim.
No, you made a really big mistake. You have to listen to me, Tam. This isn't even my body. You have to listen to me.
An ending both so vengeful and or just that it was probably inspired by either her or Themis.
You know what? The boss is actually really gonna like her. We're still gonna kill Caleb, though.
Bill, I just got off the phone with Professor Fisk.
And?
She never wants me to call her again, which is fair enough. Nah, well, yeah, but she also thinks the statue might recharge at some point.
She did say that the scales have now been used twice and are in balance. Perhaps one day Themis will take notice of you and the scales will become unbalanced and therefore usable again.
I don't know if you've noticed, but this kind of film usually ends with the main character who was switched either learning some lesson and turning back, or somehow accepting the new them and moving on. It's frankly refreshing to see them leave it like this. Bill is a cis man, or possibly a trans man at the moment, and won't give up on trying to get turned back. It feels a little more realistic somehow, less pat.
I'm just gonna do something heroic, okay? Did you hear that? I'll do something heroic.
Now that I said that, for irony's sake, I have to mention that Susie talked to her mum, and without explaining who Jessica is, she's convinced her to let her live at the house and possibly adopt her.
Heck, Mom might even end up adopting you.
Great. She'll be my sister and my mother.
Aw, you're the drunken psychotic sister I always dreamed of.
I'm really sad that there's no sequel to this. Hell, James A. Ward stuck to short films ever since he made this. The shorts, like I said at the start, are all about men being turned into women, swapping minds, that kind of thing. But the ones I've seen have the same level of offbeat wit as this. Like this one, where a guy constantly gets visits from his future self and is implored to avoid that day's terrible fate, like breaking his leg and losing his job.
So just do not take Henderson Street and you'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. But how did you get here? We don't have a time traveling machine.
No, time's up. I gotta go.
Until he eventually finds out that he's going to be turned into a woman by an angry Uber-driving sorceress, and decides to go along with it, because fuck it, it's probably an upgrade.
I'm just weighing my options is all, you know?
What do you mean? Oh, right. Right you are. We had this conversation. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
what?
decided it was best if we went with this.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, that, awesome.
Crap, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Some people can apparently spin straw into gold, and some people can spin what should be low-rent fetish videos into well-written, quirky, micro-budget comedies.
Sean, it's really bad, man. What happened? Really messed up. The dinosaurs are back. It's the zombie apocalypse. I mean, stuff has gone wrong, man, and you gotta go back and fix it. Okay, that's great, Sean, but I still don't know how to travel time. I don't have a lot of time, okay, but you just can't let the butterfly get stepped on. You hear me? I don't have time to explain, man. I gotta go. Don't go. Such an idiot. We're all idiots.
Anyway, The Hit Girl is clearly low budget, but it's far better than you probably think. The action's not good, except for the kills in the strip club, but the writing is clever, funny, and occasionally brave as fuck. And the acting is far better than you get in most tiny budget movies.
I'm Divanda Hagan, and I have to live with that every day.
One of these 8 people is a werewolf.
Which one? 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 Which one?
The beast must die.